Hi Year 7, this is Miss Hudson here doing your lesson on the Roman army today. So I've just talked through the 5 questions on this page here, so you can flick on to the next page. So our title of our lesson, if you want to take a minute to pause, is Why was the Roman army successful? And our aim of today's lesson is to complete an inference question based on this picture here. So take a minute to pause to write the title and date before moving on to the next picture, onto the next slide. Okay, so we're looking at why the Roman army was so successful. So just to remind ourselves where Rome is and the fact it's a city, not a country, and it's in Italy. And the key element here is this idea of the Roman Empire. And we talked last lesson about the idea that the Romans were able to take over other countries, mainly using their army, although sometimes fear of their army attacking would be enough to get people to surrender and to be conquered as such. And these are some of the countries which Rome was able to take over. So Spain, France, parts of Germany, Italy, Egypt, Syria, parts of Greece, England and Wales. So an empire is when one country rules another country. So your first task, and for the next few slides, is to read through the information on these slides and then answer the questions in red at the bottom. I'm happy for you to do this either on a Word document or on a piece of paper. Either is absolutely fine. Trying to go into detail with these answers though. They're not meant to be 1-word or 2-word answers. They are meant to be answered in full sentences. So the next 7 slides, I believe, are all about the Roman army and why they were so successful. So starting with this one, the best equipment, take your time and when you're ready, flick on to the next slide and answer the questions in red. Okay, well done for answering all those questions in red. If you haven't, go back and pop back and do them now. Pause them on each slide so that you have a chance to answer them. What we're going to look at is one of the key skills that we use often in history, which is inference. And that's using facts and observations to come to a conclusion about what a picture or a piece of text is trying to tell us. It's saying what it's suggesting rather than stating what it says directly. So for example, if I was trying to infer from this picture, I would not state that the girl is wearing a white dress or carrying a basket of flowers. They are facts. They are things that I can directly see. What I'm going to do is try and work out what they suggest. So for me, although it doesn't tell me directly, I would assume that this girl was a flower girl in a wedding because of how she's dressed and what she's doing. That is an inference. It's what it's suggesting rather than what it's saying or showing directly. So what I would like you to do is just take about 3 minutes to go through these 3 images here and tell me, what do they suggest about these people? You might want to pause the video here for about 3 minutes. I will go through it with you shortly. Okay, so on the left-hand side we have a man dressed in a suit. This to me would suggest that he's possibly a businessman. The woman in the middle is wearing a cap and gown and carrying books, which would suggest that she's educated, perhaps that she goes to university. And lastly, the man on the right-hand side, it would suggest his muscles would suggest to me that he likes going to the gym and he likes exercising on a regular basis. So an inference is something which a picture or a text suggests rather than what it shows directly. So we're going to have a go with this picture here that you saw at the beginning of the lesson, and I want you to think about what it infers. I'd like you to write out the sentence openers here, and at the end where the 3 dots are, can you finish off these sentences? So what can you infer or what can you learn about why the Roman army was successful? We've got to make sure that we are always linking back to the question. Okay, how do you know this? What in the source kind of made you think this? And why did this make them successful? A little bit of explanation for me at the end. This question should take you about 5 minutes to complete, so you can pause the video here now. Okay, when you finish that, that is one of the little answers that I would like you to upload to Teams. It probably won't be a very long answer. A short paragraph will be fine, because I want to just get read through some of your work just to see how you're getting on with this. Okay, the other task that I want you to upload to Teams for me is this one here, create a recruitment poster for the Roman army. I'm looking for you to spend about 15-20 minutes on this task, and I want you to really think about this. Some people have done this quite quickly so far. I want you to think really carefully about what you're putting in the poster. And what I've done on the right hand side here is I've put in a First World War recruitment poster. So it's kind of a sort of similar thing, just to give you some examples. Okay, as you can see, there's more than one image in here. It's nice and detailed. So things I'm looking for in this, in your Roman army recruitment poster, is an image which makes the Roman army look good. Again, as you can see from this one on the right hand side, it might be that you include more than one image. Your posters could be a little bit different to the one on the right hand side, because I want you to include at least 3 reasons why someone might want to join the Roman army. So I want you to go back to your knowledge from earlier in the lesson, read through and pick out some key good things about joining the Roman army. And lastly, you need to include a slogan to persuade people to join. Slogans should be pretty short, 4 or 5 words perhaps, and they should be nice and clear, as this one here is in the example, and that's because people would read the slogan quite quickly as walking past. Your image also needs to make sure that it catches the attention of anyone who is viewing this poster. So 2 things to upload today: your Inference answer and your Roman poster.